Freedom. It's what every man wants. Time and financial freedom to create the life and the business that we dream about for ourselves and our families is what every man desires. But the sad truth is, not every man is willing to pay the price. So I'm going to warn you, this video is not for everybody. If you can't be real and raw with where you're at in your life, in your financial situation, and if you're not willing to make a change, don't even think about entering your name and email address to access this video series. I advise you just to turn this video off right now. Because I know, whether you want to admit it or not, you may be struggling in your finances, struggling in your marriage, struggling in your health, struggling in addictions, or struggling in other areas of your life. And if you can't even admit that things in your life and your financial situation are not where they need to be, then you can't even begin to repair what you can't even admit is broken. And with that mindset, you're currently beyond help. So let's face some truth right here and now. Creating a successful business and life that you're truly passionate about, it's not easy. It takes a lot of work and dedication that most men don't have. The question is, are you like most men? Are you like most men? I know the challenges that come along on the road to creating freedom and success, because when I decided to change my life and create my business, it took a lot of hard work, and not every man is willing to pay that price. But maybe you are. Because when it comes to creating real success, I've seen this generally play out in one of two ways for men. A lot of men will attempt to start a business, but will eventually fail, either because they weren't fully committed or they weren't fully equipped. And they ultimately settle for some less than desirable job in a life that they hate, or even worse, they pretend that they're happy with. Then there's another group of men. These men will create financial results, but while building their business or climbing the corporate ladder, they will burn to the ground their marriage, they will damage relationships with their children and loved ones, they will neglect their health and fitness and become spiritually detached, and ultimately, they will find themselves lost and broken and most likely alone. Today's typical men share a common feeling of being stuck. They settle for a life of silent misery and unfulfillment. But rather than doing the work needed to create the change they desire, they continue to remain in the state of feeling helpless and stuck. So they resort to pretend that this sad situation that is now their life isn't really true. And they begin to turn to alcohol, food, possibly drugs or pornography, or even obsessive amounts of television just to numb and sedate the feeling that they have inside.
You don't know who the hell you are anymore.
Most men who find themselves in this situation will simply give up. They'll give up on their dreams. They'll give up on their family. They give up on themselves, and they give up on life. And maybe that's you. Maybe you've given up. Or maybe, just maybe, you're at a point in your life where you may be trying to find that fire that you once had, but you've lost the fuel and the drive to keep going, and you're scared. You're wondering if this is really what the rest of your life looks like, and you feel alone. And I get it, brother. I understand that life can be tough. And when things get tough, let's face the facts, most men will give up. But there are some men will choose to fight. And maybe that's you. Because not too terribly long ago, my back was against the wall, and I chose to fight. I made a decision to change my path and to create freedom and wealth through business and real estate at a time in my life that many around me said would be impossible, but I did it. I went on to create multiple successful businesses in the real estate field and created a net worth in the millions in a very short period of time. And I achieved my financial success and freedom. And I share this with you not to impress, but to impress upon you the possibilities that exist for you, and also to warn you about what happened to me. You see, if you fast forward a few years later in my life, after I experienced business success, for all appearances, I had made it. I had created the freedom and wealth I had dreamed of. I had the business and real estate investments I had desired. I was a best-selling author. I was being asked to go on the news as a business expert. I was working on a pilot for a television series. I thought that I had the game of life and business all figured out, until I almost lost it all. Because you see, during my pursuit to create success, I failed to integrate a critical piece that I will share with you on the next page in this video series, and that piece revolved around me no longer living my life as a one-dimensional douchebag, focused only on making money, but rather living my life by a code. And coming from a place of being on the verge of losing it all, Living and honoring this code has allowed me to put it all back together and at the same time grow and expand my life and my businesses in ways that I never even dreamed possible. My name is Brant Phillips. I'm a husband and father. I'm a business owner and real estate investor. I've spoken to thousands from the stage, I've written multiple books, and more importantly, I've been able to take my businesses to entirely new levels while at the same time creating a marriage that thrives, strengthening the relationship with my children, taking my health and fitness to new levels, and regaining the spiritual connection that I had severed in the past. Just as important, since I've discovered this code and the impact that it's had on my life and business, I've been sharing this message with other men with an experience called Breakthrough at the Beach. And the results of these men who've attended Breakthrough at the Beach have been just as impressive with what they've been able to create. The simple fact is that this code helps men to create the life and business results that they've only dreamed of in the past. But once again, the sad truth is not every man is committed, and living by this code and creating true results requires real commitment. Because during my life, I've discovered that there are two commitments that a true modern-day warrior and entrepreneur must always honor. One, you must never back down from fear when it stands in the way of your freedom. Number two, you must always respond to the calling in your heart. You see, I chose to face my fears when my back was against the wall, and I chose to listen to the voice that was calling in my heart. But the real question is, are you ready to live your life as a modern-day warrior and entrepreneur? And are you ready to create the results that you truly desire in your life and your business? Are you ready to experience freedom and to stand up to your fear? And are you ready to answer the calling in your heart? If you'd like to learn more about my experience and about this code that we share at Breakthrough at the Beach that helps men to thrive in business and real estate, but also helps them to create a life that leads to a legacy, and if you'd also like to learn why most entrepreneurs will ultimately fail and experience demise while creating their wealth and businesses, then move forward in this video series and to learn more about Breakthrough at the Beach.